Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Quito, Ecuador and the Conference of the Parties of the Convention on Migratory Species, which this year celebrates its 35th anniversary. It is truly a mature convention and one that I think we should credit member states and those who were the architects of this convention for having had the wisdom and the foresight 35 years ago to design an instrument that would allow us, first of all, to recognize both the phenomena of declining species and also the threats that particularly affect migratory species. Many of us still are at the beginnings of understanding quite how ecosystems function, how habitats that are often located in different national territories are indeed inextricably linked in terms of how species migrate and their fate as a result of not being able to understand migratory patterns and also the actions, whether it be in terms of conservation or sustainable use of these species in one national territory and the consequences beyond national boundaries. The convention celebrates not only many success stories but also a very active engagement of governments, civil society and many other partner organizations in first of all raising awareness about migratory species, secondly trying to address the threats and also hopefully putting in place the kinds of collaborative arrangements which really go to the heart and the DNA of the United Nations, which is to bring member states of the global community together to act on issues, challenges, opportunities or threats, be it for the environment or in many other related areas. In that sense, the Convention on Migratory Species fits extremely well within the mandate and the overall objectives of the United Nations and also complements, for instance, conventions such as the Convention on Biological Diversity and its Aichi targets or the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species. At your meeting in Quito this year, you will have many decisions to take, amongst them also very many that address particular threats such as wildlife crime and poaching, marine debris, or the listing or the potential listing of 32 additional species in the CMS context. I hope that you will have both the confidence and the trust in the instrument of CMS, but also in the ability of member states, of which there are now 120 that have ratified the convention, to make this instrument even more effective in the future. It is both a platform, a means and a catalyst for action, and it allows us to bring the best of both expertise, national legislation and international commitments to the fore of supporting an instrument that has allowed us to already protect successfully quite a number of species. But I don't need to tell you that both threats and decline and also the nature of the threats that exist for many of the species that you are focused on are still growing exponentially. We have not succeeded in turning the corner and therefore the work and the decisions that you will be taking in Quito this week I think are of extreme importance, not only from the point of view of the success and the accountability of member states through the convention, but also to our overall effort of trying to conserve, protect and sustainably use biodiversity across the planet. In part, your work will also be to look at the effectiveness of the instrument itself and certainly the agenda in terms of greater coherence, efficiency and synergies within the CMS family is an issue that we in the United Nations Environment Programme and not least you as member states through the United Nations Environment Assembly have repeatedly called for to make progress on. I hope that you will find both the proposals and the proposed way forward to be compelling and convincing and therefore provide another example that our instruments can evolve and that after 35 years indeed CMS and its secretariats and the CMS family can take the next step towards a more efficient and effective functioning of the support infrastructure. But it is also at country level where we need to continue to focus our attention on how the focal points for different conventions can achieve greater synergy in terms of national policy and the kinds of decisions that are taken under different conventions. And in that sense, our discussions on synergies and greater coherence of biodiversity-related conventions at the country level where action and implementation takes place is part of this discussion. I would like to end by both thanking the Executive Secretary and the team, the Secretariat, and many of you who have made in this period between the last COP and this one, the work of the Convention move forward. We have many reasons to be proud, and I think out of the decisions that you will take this week, there will be many more opportunities to demonstrate both the vitality, the importance, and the opportunity that CMS and the CMS family as a whole represent. On behalf of the United Nations Environment Programme, and also as Executive Director of UNEP, I would like to commit our continued support and also strong faith in both the importance and also the relevance of this convention to our overall efforts in making our planet more sustainable. Thank you very much, and to the people and the government of Ecuador, thank you for inviting us into your beautiful country, for making us welcome, and for expressing your commitment to this convention through hosting this meeting in Quito. Muchas gracias.